Resident Evil Challenger.
What's going on, guys? It's Nougie from Resident Evil Challenger here, and today I've got a big announcement to share with you. But before we get to that, it has been a while since I've been in front of the camera doing one of these. In fact, this is the first one I have done this entire year. This year is really zipping past. And also, we're now exactly 1 month away today, to this day, from this year's Resident Evil Challenger Meetup, which is really shaping up to be a fun night. We've got about 40 people attending. It's going to be very similar to like last year, but this year, because it's Resident Evil Challenger's 18th anniversary party, we want to make sure that everyone comes down in fancy dress. Resident Evil Challenger, your favourite outfits, your favourite monsters, me, Nathan, Izzy, whatever you want. So yeah, 17th of June, very, very exciting stuff. As I said, we've got about 40 people coming. We've had a few people that have dropped out recently. So if you are interested and you're wondering if there are any more spaces, we do have a few left. And so just drop me a message on our Discord, which is in the YouTube description, if you want any information about that. Or if you're traveling down, if you've got any questions, if you've never been through London before, if you're confused about how the tube system works or where to get off or where to go, just let us know on Discord. And we've actually made a whole thread that's got loads of information about the actual event. But let's get on to this announcement that I teased today. So yeah, Resident Evil Challenger has been an amazing period during the pandemic. It's essentially our rebirth period, where in 2015 we basically decided to have a little bit of hiatus after we did the challenge, and yeah, we essentially had like 5 years of no content. And then during the pandemic, right at the start of March 2020, the week before lockdown began, me and Nathan teased a new Resident Evil challenge that was coming. We put out a trailer, and then yeah, we all went through the quote which is used all the times, unprecedented times. We went through the pandemic, 2020, went into 2021, and the timing of Resident Evil Challenger coming back, the timing of having a lot more available free time, really meant that Resident Evil Challenger had amazing successes. We raised over £25,000 for 3 different charities, which was just absolutely amazing. We did over 100 live streams between me, Nathan, and Izzy. We've done 4 24-hour Resident Evil challenges. We've got the Discord, we've got the merch, got countless memories. I mean, for a 3-year period of coming back, we've done some amazing stuff. Resident Evil 3 Remake, Resident Evil Village, and then more recently, Resident Evil 4 Remake, which I know we haven't finished. I'll come to that soon. So for me and Nathan teasing one little Resident Evil challenge that we're planning to do and come back for, there's been a lot of content. We have done a lot. And basically where this is leading to is this summer, we will be going back to another hiatus. And it's never the end. It's never the end. We're never going to completely hang up the boots and go completely offline, and things will never be done. But we will be putting a pause on our content for the foreseeable future until at least 2025, which will be the Resident Evil Challenger 20-year anniversary. So we haven't got anything confirmed yet, but I think it is very, very likely that there will be a 24-hour challenge for the 20-year anniversary, because that is such a big milestone for us. But yeah, after this summer, we're basically planning on having a bit of a hiatus. And that's not to say there won't ever be any live streams or anything at all. I'm basically just trying to manage people's expectations and just be really open and transparent with you guys to let you know that things will be a bit quiet. And the reason for that is mostly just schedules. A big part of it's my schedule, my work schedule. Things are going back to how they were before the pandemic. A lot of travel, a lot of time being abroad. I mean, this year I've had like 2 weeks in Mexico, been in Italy. I've just come back from 2 weeks shooting in Rwanda on a documentary. I'm going to Germany next week. I'm going to come back from that. I'm going to Holland. I want to come back. I'm going to Japan later this summer. It's just, yeah, I'm really finding it to be a challenge, no pun intended, to find the time for doing all of the content. And I'm sure you guys are starting to notice it as well. I mean, Resident Evil 4 Remake, I haven't really been able to create much content for that. And you guys all know how much I love Resident Evil 4 Remake, what a big moment it is. You know, I smashed 107 hours out of that game despite all of those scheduling things I mentioned. Still managed to get 107 hours into Resident Evil 4 Remake. But yeah, I just haven't had the time to be able to do the live streams. And the fact that we haven't even finished our Lucky Dip challenge, which we started almost 2 months ago, I think is just evidence of how difficult it is to do this content. And I'm very much a person that, you know, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it properly, and I don't really want to have to half-ass it. I also want to like mess you guys around and sort of like promise streams which aren't going to happen. So I've just come to a decision that at this current moment in time, it makes the most sense to have a pause on content. But we've got 3 streams in the can left before we do that. The first one, which will be next week, had to change it because I'm going to Germany tomorrow, was meant to be tomorrow, but was the third and final part of the RE4 Remake Lucky Dip Challenge. That will now be on Tuesday next week. So we'll finally get that one done and dusted and finished off. The next one after that will be just after the meetup this summer. So in June next month, we will be doing another community dice. In fact, this will be the last community dice challenge we'll be doing. And this is a reattempt of the community dice, which we attempted with Let's Talk Resident Evil last summer. And one of my favourite friends from the Resident Evil community, he is flying back over from New Jersey, and he is coming to attempt, with me and Izzy, to try and beat the community dice of Resident Evil 3. We will also be joined by another special guest for it, and that will be Andy from Biohazard Declassified, who's also coming to the meetup. He will be joining us. So there will be 4 Resident Evil challengers that can try and beat you guys one final time for our last community dice challenge. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then the final live stream, I should say, we don't have the date confirmed. It will either be late June or early July. There's no point trying to confirm a date now. I keep having to put in dates onto live streams and they keep changing, so I'll just do it close to the time. The last live stream we will be doing, and I can confirm it, I've been sitting on this secret for quite a while, and this will be a new mod from good old Rob, who's done all of the previous Resident Evil Challenger mods in the past. There is a new one, and that is of Resident Evil 1, and obviously we've seen part of that before with Nathan's mod in Resident Evil 1, but now this pretty face gets the treatment, as you'll get to see Nougie's story in Resident Evil 1 Remake. So there's quite a lot to see there. I haven't seen it myself. It's all been completely under wraps from Rob and Jack. So I will be doing a blind playthrough as soon as that is finished. I know that it's very, very near completion. So as soon as we've got a date for that, we will let you know. So those are the 3 streams we've got, and then that will probably be it. I imagine between then and 2025, there'll be a handful of little things that will pop up every now and then when I've got a bit of time. Be good to hang out with Izzy. You know, if there's like any new Resident Evils that come out or DLCs, maybe separate ways of RE4, if I can find the time, I can maybe do that. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, I just want people to manage their expectations of what will be coming from this channel for the foreseeable future. I feel incredibly content with what we've managed to do over these 3 and a bit years. It really has gone above and beyond what any of us have expected. And yeah, I just want to say, I know we've said it countless times before, but just like a massive thank you to everyone that has made this period so successful, that has made the fundraising and everything so memorable. It literally will be things that I will never forget. None of us will ever forget. They're some of the biggest achievements I've ever had in my entire life. So I'm so proud and pleased of that. And there is still more to do on this channel, don't get me wrong. We've got unfinished business. We've still got the 3 gamer 24-hour challenge to beat successfully, where this guy doesn't fuck it up. So there's definitely that chip on my shoulder to beat at some point. On that note, there won't be a highlights of the 2022 Resident Evil Challenge at any point soon. I mean, as I said about schedules and everything else, the time it takes to actually put a highlights video for a Resident Evil Challenge is probably not far off about 100 hours. Like, it takes a lot of editing, post-production, sound mixing, color grading. And the issue with the 2022 challenge is that the audio levels are just way off. I'm sure those of you who watched it live will realize that the sound's quite distorted. And every time I've gone back in to edit it or start editing it, I just hear the audio from it, and it's just such a big problem. I just don't have the patience or the mental capacity to go for it. And I think having done 3 of those edits, that's a lot of time that I've kind of put into doing the challenges. So maybe one day in the future, I might do it. But I think for the time being, there probably won't be an edit of that challenge, especially because the ending is just so gutting as well with how it finished. But that's what I mean. You know, it's unfinished business. It's something to come back to. We will beat that challenge. And of course, we do also have a dare show to make for you guys. Like, that is something that we promised. It was an incentive for the 25k goal that we're heading towards. But at the moment, it doesn't feel like the right time to release it. I feel that when we have a big Resident Evil challenge coming, that'd be the perfect time to build up some hype and some excitement, and it will play nicely in the challenge as we have done in the past. So when we do the challenge, which I think will happen in 2025, that is when we will be delivering the dare show. And we'll need you guys to help us with the dares and the ideas for that. So make sure you hang around for it. Like, as I said, I know things will be a little bit quiet and there may not be content, but yeah, I've got faith that you guys will come back as soon as we start posting the announcement videos, because it will only get better with time. I feel like we've played all of the games countless times. The amount of times you guys have seen us play Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 1 remake. We've played everything. We've played them all. We've even played Outbreak. You know, we've done a lot in this 3-year period. So I can only think that having a little bit of a gap will be what we all need. A bit of fresh air and a bit of a fresh restart. And it's always worked out well in the past. This is by no means our first hiatus that we've ever had. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. And all I can say for now is let's enjoy these last couple of weeks that we've got left. Let's really celebrate at the Meetup in a month's time. Let's have a great sort of farewell of things for the time being. And we hope that you guys will join us for our final 3 live streams. Once again, thank you very much for everything. It really has been an amazing ride. You made one of the darkest periods, at least in my own history, very memorable and enjoyable and social. And yeah, there's lots more fun stuff to come. Just might have to wait a while. But thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week for the 3rd and final part of the Lucky Dip of Resident Evil 4. See you later.
Resident Evil Challenger.